Welcome to the video. We're checking out the book known as What Every Pianist Needs to Know About the Body. I've provided the link in the description for you to check out the book. And before I get into the video, I just want to say that whatever being talked about in this video is only the important points. I'm not really, reading out the whole thing. So if you want to know much more about the book, like if you want to dive deeper into it, then it's highly recommended that you go check out the book, because it's just wonderful. Now let's get into the video. Alright, now we're done with chapter 2. We're going to be moving on to chapter 3 now. Chapter 3 is going to be about mapping the places of balance. So yeah, let's get into it. So the 6 pivotal areas of our body whose alignment can produce uprightness are the head on the spine, which we call the AO joint, the balance of the arm structure, the shoulder joint, the lumbar spine, the hip joint, the knee joint, and the ankle joint. And thinking of them as joints is the best way to develop a dynamic sense of the parts in relation to each other. This is because the kinesthetic receptors concentrated on the joints. Alright, let's go through each of them. So the head on the spine, the AO joint. We've talked about this in detail in the previous lessons, but let's just run through this quickly. So the head rests on the top vertebra of the spine. The top 2 vertebrae have special structural modifications that permits easy movement of the skull up and down, which we call nodding of the head, and also it permits easy movement of the head sideways. It can do all of this without disturbing the balance. Remember that the head without the jaw is what we're learning to balance here. If your head is off balance, then your neck muscles have to do so much work to keep your head in balance. And also, relaxing rest of the part of the bodies actually depends upon how we're using our head. Tension in our neck can inhibit lots of movements. People who are chronically off balance won't notice this tension because they're so accustomed to this. For our arms, this can cause serious issues because the nerves that supply our arm branches off from our neck. So if we tense our neck muscles, it's actually going to put pressure on those nerves that supply our arms. Therefore, tense neck muscles can inhibit the use of our arms. We should know that our head should sit balanced on top of the AO joint, or else it is going to put pressure on those nerves that supply our arms. All too often, when pianists adjust sideways, they initiate with the shoulder or the chest instead of leading with the head. When the head leads, a movement results which may look like a long, easy C curve of the spine. That is very fluid and graceful. Once the person leads with the head, the amount of sideways movement that is needed to reach the extremes of the keyboard will feel smaller than before. Next, we're going to discuss about the shoulder joint. So first of all, we should make this clear to ourselves. Our arms does not support our weight when balanced. The shoulder joint faces directly out to the side just like another ear, and when it's in balance it's going to remain centered in relation to the ribs, which is going to give it the maximum freedom. Alright, this is it for the shoulder joint, but in the upcoming chapters we'll be talking about it in detail. Now let's move on to the lumbar spine. So since the spine is curved, not all parts of it coincide with the vertical line that is connecting the places of balance. But the lumbar spine does coincide with the vertical line. The lumbar spine is at the center from the front of the body and also from the side of the body as well. We know that the curves of the spine is there to absorb the impact, but any habit of arching the spine is likely to be overarching, which is going to strain your lower back. A pianist who has been accustomed to overarching or gripping the lower back may feel slumped at first when brought to balance.